Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 20 career mode. So I don't know what race is actually coming up next. I think it is Jerez, but at the minute we've got 1 week left on the frame, so we'll advance to the next week. So actually it is Jerez, so we've now got 100% on the frame, so we can't update the frame anymore. So the thing to do would be to put everything on the engine. That's obviously the only thing we can do. So we'll have a look at the upgrades for the engine then. We've got so many points. Can we do several upgrades at the same time? So I know you obviously can't do these down the tree without doing this one. But can I do this upgrade? We'll add Adam Martin to that, so that's 7 weeks. And then can we also do... No, we can't do this either. So we have to do one at a time. Add everybody on there then. So it's going to take 2 weeks to do this engine upgrade. So then I think the next thing to do is to head into the race. Obviously not so much build up. The last couple of episodes have been quite a bit of build up to do in this menu, but that's the only thing we've got to do today. So we'll head into Jerez now and I'll see you in free practice 1. So then we're here at Jerez. We've obviously got to do the development tests once again. So we'll start off with the distance analysis. Obviously only a couple of laps. Here it shouldn't be too bad because Jerez is not too long of a track, although it seems lap time wise it's quite similar to Argentina. So hopefully it shouldn't take me too long. We should be able to get this all done in the first free practice session. So coming up towards the line then, we're plenty above that line, so hopefully we will get something better than good. And no, we got good again. I don't seem to be able to get above good on this, so I'm not really going to go for it anymore to try and get above that, because I know that's the maximum I seem to be able to get out of the bike here. So we did a 49.5 on that second lap. It was much faster than the first one. Arbolino held us up on the first lap, and we almost actually didn't do the lap time. But yeah, we got good again then. So we'll have a look. We've got to do the race simulation next. This will be quite a long one. Not sure how long the race is here. It's probably 5 laps, so this probably will be quite a representative race simulation. A medium front, hard rear on. That'll be actually quite difficult considering the cloudy conditions. We'll fill up the tank. We'll head out onto the track and we'll do the race simulation now. Through the last corner of the race simulation, then we've got faster and faster every single lap. So that bodes pretty well for us that we're getting faster on more worn tyres. So we managed to do 5 valid laps. Obviously last time we only managed to, well, we did 4, but you only were awarded for the first 3 and then obviously then for 5. So we'll get the full maximum points for this challenge this time. Well, it's not a challenge, the practice program. So we'll have a look at the quick lap simulation then. We've got to go out obviously just do 2 qualifying laps. It is cloudy of course, there's going to be less grip than hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully it's clear in qualifying. But for now, obviously we've got to try and make the most of it in the cloudy weather. Coming up towards the line then to end the qualifying run. Will we have beaten our time? No, we were a couple of tenths off. But we did manage to obviously beat the time that was set for us. I was trying to beat my time I set on the previous lap. I think we got a bit of slipstream from Agora on the last one. So I think that helped us out. Apparently we have damage. It'll take 4 minutes to repair. Quite how that's occurred because I didn't actually crash. Perhaps I tapped Agora a little bit when I went past him, but I wouldn't have thought that would have caused me 4 minutes worth of repairs. You know, whatever, I suppose. Maybe that's why I was a tad slower on the second lap, but it never told me I got damage or anything, so it was a bit weird. So that is all the development tests done, so we'll skip to the end of the free practice session now, and I'll see you in qualifying. So then at the end of that session, we were 1.9 seconds quicker than Tatsuki Suzuki, 2 seconds ahead of Masia, and 2 seconds in front of Foggia. So our 2 rivals, they are, to be fair, they're not winning, well, and obviously I know this isn't a race, they're not topping the timesheets, but they are being pretty close to me, so if I ever made a mistake in the race or something, they could definitely start to make some inroads on me. So we're here now then in qualifying, and we actually do have clear weather, so that's nice to have. We'll put 4 laps of fuel on the bike, and we'll head out onto the track. Right then, so coming up towards the line to start our qualifying lap, I'm not sure if we'll actually be any quicker, because it's sunny. Don't think there's a massive amount of difference in the lap time, to be honest, so it's more about the temperature of the tyres. The tyres weren't getting too hot, but they weren't too cold either, so maybe they'll overheat a little bit, but we're only doing 1 lap, so I imagine it wouldn't be too bad. Anyway, I've chatted away pretty much the entire first sector talking about the weather, so we go through the long turn 4, revving out 4th gear, shifting into 5th, so we're 27.4 in the first sector. I don't really know how good that is, I've not been looking at my sector times. Through the Ceto Ponds corner, trying to get on the power as early as we can. We've got to carry the speed through the corner. Corner that I've notoriously struggled at over the years, although it seems like the AI take a very interesting line through it from what I've seen. They go pretty wide. Braking for Danny Pedrosa corner, used to be called the dry sack corner of course, but now it's Danny Pedrosa. Sliding it through there. There is an AI in front of us. I don't think we'll catch them, so hopefully we'll be okay, but if it's someone towards the end of the 18 riders in the session, it could be a problem. Although now we're getting so close to the end of the lap, I don't think we'll be able to catch them. So yeah, I think we're all okay. Although they've gone a little bit wide there, I think. I should probably stop fixating on them so much and focus on my lines. Although that was quite a nice line there. This section can be quite tricky. A couple of times I did clip a curb on the inside and almost crashed in practice. Through Ferrari then. Down towards the Lorenzo corner, probably the wrong gear through there. Probably should have been in fourth because we bogged a little bit. Obviously the RPM's a bit hard. So it's Philip Salac actually 18th. So yeah, he could have been a problem, but we didn't quite catch up to him. So we're coming towards the line then. 42, 43, 44, 45, 47.2. It's a pretty quick lap, that one there. It's the quickest lap we've done all weekend by probably quite a way as well. So we'll head back into the pits then, and then fast forward to the end of the session and see where that puts us. So then, once again, the AI massively off the pace in qualifying. They can't get anywhere near me. I think they're not really much quicker than they were in practice, I don't think, considering how much faster I was than I was in practice. But 2.3 seconds on pole then ahead of Masia. This is actually slightly closer than he was in the previous session. I think he was 3 seconds off, so he has made a bit of a dent on us. He's actually almost on the same time as Arenas. He went 100th faster than him. Foggia's down in 6th place. Finati's down in 9th. So expect something maybe from Finati as he's coming through. Same with Foggia. I'm guessing those Leopard boys are really going to try and beat me this time. So then we're down on the grid now, and we're going to try and make it 4 wins from 4. That would be pretty impressive, especially considering the dominance of the victories we've had. Obviously in Qatar it was like a bit of a fluke, like I said before, so the difficulty wasn't set correctly. But ever since, we've absolutely pulled away, and I think we probably would have won Qatar even on 120%. So then we've got to try and not make any mistakes. Obviously there is a bit of a bug off the line where people have been getting really bad starts. I've not actually had that yet, but it could happen at any time, so hopefully we don't get that in this episode. But that could allow the AI to obviously get a good run on us. And if they get in front of me, I'm not sure what they might be able to do, but they might actually be able to do something. Or that usually they'll get away off the start and pull away. So maybe they'll do something if they can get in front of me. So then Masia alongside us, Arenas in the front row as well. You can see Foggia in the background. He's definitely going to be trying to do something. Oh no, I've had the glitch. I've had the glitch start. The AI are going to come flying past me. To go towards turn 1, but that's a 14th place. Wow, we've lost a lot of ground here. Good job, we've got 6 laps to try and make it back. Oh, it's been a crash on the inside. Salac has took out half the field, so we're back up into 8th place. But Salac has lost the front. He's took out a load of people. It's a Leopard 1-2 at the minute. So yes, they are capitalising on this. Bashing his way back through the pack here, trying to go between these two AI. So we're back up into 4th place already. So it's been a very quick recovery. So it's actually probably the 3 guys that have been the fastest all season of the AI: Finati, Masia and Foggia. And Finati started down in about 9th place, although I've just come through from 14th up to 4th, so I suppose it's quite easy to see why. The other AI were very, very slow off the line. I'm actually running Power Mode 2, I've just realised. I put it on for the start, because I usually, I thought that's what made the glitch not happen, Power Mode 2. It's what I've been telling people, but I guess not, because I finally had it and I ran Power Mode 2. So it means we get to see some action on track here then. Although judging by the rate we've caught them, it's not going to be for very long. But they could definitely try and do something here. It's Romano Finati then in front of us. We're looking to line him up as we go towards Angel Nieto corner. We're going to go up the inside. Oh, we're not quite close enough there to go for it. Obviously got to watch out in this game. Probably on MotoGP 19. I probably would have gone for that. Oh, picked up a penalty as well. That was a mistake. I was trying to avoid him. Yeah, MotoGP 19, I probably would have gone for that, but obviously with the damage in this game, it's very, very sensitive, so even a touch with the AI can give you a bit. I probably already got some from turn 1. We're having a look then, so we go towards the Jorge Lorenzo corner. We're around the outside, up the inside now, obviously because the outside for the previous turn, inside for this one, so up to 3rd place now. So for the first time, we're actually not going to lead a lap. So the first lap of the season not led by me. Yama Masia is leading. Dennis Foggia in 2nd, but we're going to be trying to get past both of them as quickly as we can. It's around the outside. Masia's gone a bit wide through turn 1. Is he feeling the pressure? Is he going to crack? Because he's been Mr. Consistent so far. Obviously, I know I've been winning the races, but compared to everybody else, he's been the most consistent, along with Foggia, really, and Finati to a certain extent. They've all been pretty consistent. But we're looking for a way around Foggia now. So that's what the AI take a very wide line, which does not help their exit onto this straight here to go down towards the Dani Pedrosa corner. Oh, we've just smashed Foggia at the back. He completely caught me out there. He broke a lot earlier than I was expecting him to, so I'm going to sit behind him, but we've probably picked up some damage from that. So that's not very good. Trying to maximise our exit out of the Hoyle Lorenzo corner, then we've got a pretty good run on Foggia. Getting his slipstream, hopefully we'll be able to get him up towards the line. Although I definitely have some sort of damage because he's definitely got more straight line speed than me now, which is going to make things a bit more difficult. We have to maximise the corners out of turn 1 then. Can we have a look into Michelin? Oh, it's just so hard to get the inside, although I think he might be catching Masia in front a little bit actually. So if we're both closing in on Masia, it's not so bad to still be behind him, but we're going to be looking for a way through pretty soon. I think we may be able to go for him at the Cito Pons corner. Although if we're still behind at the Angel Nieto corner, it could be a potential opportunity there. Well, I took that dreadfully, so yeah, that's definitely helped him out. We are running out of laps here. I need to start thinking about making a move on him because he's now getting away from me. Coming towards the line to start the final lap then. Fastest lap of the race to me. I'm finally sort of finding my feet with this damaged bike, but I think they are too far in front. That's it, the streak is over. Masia's going to win here in Jerez, with Foggia second, myself in third. The glitch start really did us over, and then obviously the damage with Foggia was what did it. That was a really hard race. I mean, we did have the pace, as you can see, we had the fastest lap. We could have gone like a good nearly second faster than that, I think, without the damage a lap. But we were just losing so much speed on the straights after the contact with Foggia, of course. But fair and square racing, I suppose. Well, it's not really fair because of the glitch start thing, but I should have been watching Foggia a bit better. He just broke so early for the hairpin, it just took me totally off guard. I went straight into the back of him, and luckily he didn't crash. Perhaps, I'm surprised he didn't have any damage. I'm guessing that AI probably don't have damage unless they actually crash out of the race and they can have terminal damage. I've seen that happen, but... so third place then for me. It's obviously going to close up the championship quite a bit with my two rivals both beating me there. Yeah, so in the championship now the lead's down to 13 points. It's 26 to Foggia in second, so we've still got over a race win to Foggia. Romano Fenati is closing up on Suzuki now, obviously, because he came fourth in that race as well. So have a look at the teams championship. 52-point lead now for Leopard Racing. They're dominating the teams championship. Obviously, we're in second, although 658 Squadra Corsa are only 4 points behind now, so they are definitely closing up to us a bit. So we're heading to Parc Ferme. Obviously, we'll get to see a different cutscene this time because we haven't won this race. We've got third place. It was a tough race, that one. I was pushing the entire race. I just started to find my feet on the last couple of laps, and I really started to reel them back in, but it was just not enough time.
Third place is good for the team's morale. 16 points more in the ranking, and the knowledge that the rider and bike are extremely competitive.
So you can't be too disappointed with that. Obviously, it's still a third position after all. But we just had so much pace over the weekend. Of course, I just felt like we could have easily got away and won. My rider's just going to the team. I don't know if it's going to go and congratulate the winner or something. I've not actually finished third yet in this game. Well, in single player, so I've not seen the cutscene. So yeah, I'm really liking the new Parc Ferme stuff. It looks much more realistic, much less forced. Still quite happy. So we gained 4,700 reputation points then for that weekend. We gained 6,151 credits this weekend as well. So then we now have 1,536 engine points, 462 frame, and then obviously the aero and the ECU don't matter. So then looking at the technical staff management, we actually have got a notification here. So a new candidate available for the chief engineer. So we got Mario Bianchi. I was keeping him on, wasn't I, for the engine? Whoa! So this guy is a really good electronics guy, but he is not good in the engine and frame department, obviously, which is exactly what we want. So I actually might think about signing Mario Bianchi because I meant to sign him when we started working on the engine. That's what I will do. So he's lost us a little bit on frame, of course, but you know, nothing you can do. We've got no candidates for a data analyst. So yeah, we've got nothing else to do than to just advance to the next week because obviously we've got to wait for the engine. So we just lost quite a few credits because I think we just had to pay the staff. Let's have a look at the engine then, so we can start the next upgrade now. So obviously we've got loads and loads of points. We haven't got enough to upgrade everything, so we need 900 alone for these parts. We can start getting some more. So we've got to develop this. We've got to reduced airflow turbulence using the airbox. So we'll start developing that, and we'll add Oh, they're already assigned to the area anyway, so I don't need to do that. Right, so it'll take 3 weeks for that, so it'll be a while before we get that. So have a look at the calendar then. 2, 3. So we should have it by the end of Mugello then, I think. Which isn't great. Right, so we've got some notifications here. The personal manager and the technical staff again. So we've got new candidates available for the personal manager. Let's have a look then. So we've got Liam Smith. Oh, he's the only one. There's very little difference there, just +1 in one area and -1 in another. I'm not going to bother with the signing on, you know, it's losing 3,000 credits for that small of a change. Oh, new chief engineer again. We literally just got one. So we obviously got that same guy, and oh, this guy is an aero guy. So 2 guys that probably wouldn't be too bad for MotoGP, maybe. But for now, I don't want either of them. So actually, I would refuse them both. But yeah, now without further ado, we'll head into Le Mans, and I'll see you in free practice. So we're here then now in Le Mans, and typically, in French fashion, it's raining. So that'll make things a little bit more interesting, I suppose. So we'll go out for the distance analysis. Hopefully we don't have to meet the dry lap times, but you never know. It's interesting, it's the first time I've actually ridden in the rain on this game, so hopefully it goes well. Unsurprisingly then, we got good on the distance analysis. I didn't really try to get excellent or perfect because, I mean, I don't know what else I can do to get those. So we'll head out then for the race simulation. We've got to do lots of laps here in the wet. It's going to be nice and fun, but obviously I do need to find my feet in the wet, of course, because I've never really ridden in it before. So it's not too different to the dry, you just can't quite trail brake as much. Other than that, on the Moto 3 at least, it's pretty much the same. So we just ended the development test session and the race simulation when we got 5 valid laps once again, so we got the maximum points we could for this session. Oh, that test. We still got to do the next one. So we did a 48.3 on the last lap, so we really were improving our pace by the end, which is a good job we can sort of get that, because here we've got to get a 48.4 twice in a row. I'll have a look. Can we change to anything? No, we can only use a medium, so there's no hard or anything. So it's just medium is the only thing we can use in the wet. So if we struggle to do this development test because of the wet conditions, we can always have a look at maybe doing it in the dry if there's another session available. But anyway, for now, we'll go out and try it in the wet anyway. Run up towards the line then. 47.3, so we easily beat that one then. On that lap, we only beat the time by 8 thousandths of a second on the first lap, so I thought it was going to be difficult. But on the second lap, we were so much faster. I think it's just all about getting the heat in the tyres. The tyres were too cold on the first lap, and I couldn't quite do it. We'll head into qualifying now. I'll see you there. So interestingly enough, it's Suzuki second again, and Suzuki always seems so fast in these free practice sessions, but then he's never there in the qualifying or race. It's so strange. Right, so we're here, and it's now obviously dry because it's the next day in the game. So it will be interesting to see if we are quick or if we are slow, because obviously I've not done any sort of practice in the dry. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up where we left off, but we might need to do a few more laps in qualifying than normal. Right, so the amount of grip is obviously phenomenal compared to what we had before. So as we're going up the straight towards the... Well, it's actually turns 1 and turns 2, isn't it, here then? So that's turn 1, and then you come into here turn 2, and then the first corner you have to brake for is turn 3. Good job we didn't invalidate by doing that. I suppose it's no advantage to be gained. So Arbolino ahead of us then. Hopefully he causes us no trouble. Luckily we've got plenty of dry tyres available, but we might have to go for a couple of laps, like I said, obviously to get used to the dry conditions. There's a couple into the AI's favour, of course, but I really want to beat them now. Last race has annoyed me that I had the pace by so much, but then they still managed to beat me just because obviously the bad luck I had with the start, but then obviously my mistake to go into the back of Fodger. Anyway, Arbolino sat right on the line I want to be on through Garage Fair. Pick up the bike and the slipstream. He actually might help us here a little bit. I mean, he's got a little bit in my way there. He's slowed down almost a bit dangerously. It's weird. The AI seem to want to get out of the way, but already when you're alongside them or sort of trying to go past them, which is really strange. Bit of a wheelie there through that section. That's not going to be very good for a qualifying lap, is it? Into the S Bleu. Arbolino's caught back up to us again, so this section's been a dreadful section. So we go into the last corners. Penultimate turn on the power, run it through, off the power, back onto the power through the final corner, record them on. towards the line then. 1:43.4, but I feel like we can probably go a few seconds quicker than that, to be honest. We obviously haven't got enough fuel on this run to go for it again. But we'll head back to the pits, and if we drop down the leaderboard a bit, I'll come back out and do another lap. So I've just realised something. I've had a bit of a realisation. That was Q1. Because obviously the free practice 3 must have been dry as well. So my time in obviously FP1 wasn't good enough to get me through straight into Q2. And it took me way too long to realise that. When I realised that the layer pods weren't on the list, I was like, what's going on? And then I've realised this. So we're through to Q2, so we get to go once again. Coming out the last corner then to end our qualifying lap here. 1:42.9, so a little bit quicker than we did in the previous session. I think I might go for one more, just see if I can find any more time. That last corner then, Alcoba right in front of us. He lets us through there on the exit of the corner. So we managed to take another 2/10 off our lap time, 42.6. Obviously, there's not got enough fuel to go again, so I think we'll probably go into the pits. Hopefully that will be good enough. Right then, so at the end of the session, that was good enough for pole position by 1.6 seconds, which is the closest we've had so far. Yama Masia is down in 6th, but I'm sure that won't bother him. But Foggia and Fanati are on the front row alongside me, so that will be quite interesting then. They're definitely going to try and get past me off the start. So then, on the grid here, this could be a very close race, because obviously the lack of dry running has definitely helped the AI out here, because obviously I've not been able to find the absolute limit of the bike. We had a lot of pace over them in the wet, which obviously they probably were a bit scared of, but the fact that, well, they're AI, but they're not going to be. But I suppose if they were real riders, they'd be like, oh no, we're massively off in the wet too. And it dries up, but they are a lot closer than they usually are. Obviously, after losing the last race, I really want to try and win this one, so without further ado, we'll start the race. Right then, so we've got to try and get our race win streak going again. Obviously, we've still got the qualifying streak going, we've got the pole position stuff. We really need to try. We've got the terrible glitch start again. That's annoying. That's really frustrating, that is. But we've got to try and win this one. We are down in 9th already before we even got to turn 1. I don't know how I wasn't getting it in the first few races. But it's just the last couple that's shown up. Diving up the inside into turn 3 here. There's been a crash behind. Celestino Vietti's gone down. I think Alcoba might have just tagged him, because Alcoba was coming in very quickly, and then all of a sudden there's a crash. So I'd say the two are probably connected. So we're back up into 6th place already. It's been quite a good start. Well, it's not been a good start, but it's been a pretty good recovery. I think Messia's there in 3rd. I think Foggia's out front leading. And Fanati's just a bit in front of us as well. So we've got past Arenas now. Fanati's up next. Mino's in 2nd. Mino's done a pretty good job. He's not been near the front so far this season, so he could definitely be a fly in the ointment, especially for the others. If I can try and get him between me and Masia, or me and Foggia. Oh no, it's actually Masia leading. Foggia is in 3rd there. Oh, so Masia's had a really good start, because I'm sure he was about 5th or 6th on the grid. Up the inside of Fanati. We'll be able to try it on Foggia as well, are we? No. Fanati's hung it in there. So we're going to have to try and get him again. I'm not very good at chicane, I'm really struggling with it. The bike wheelies a lot in the middle. I'm not sure why that keeps happening. So we're right behind Fanati, up the inside of him, we go sat him up a little bit there. So back up into 4th place. So it's been a pretty successful first lap for me. Into the penultimate turn on the power. Running it through, can we get the drive on Dennis Foggia in the slipstream of him? On 48.9. To the right hand side we go. He's just sort of let us through there. That was a bit weird. He's sort of lifted off the throttle. We weren't even close to contact either, so it seems a bit weird. But Andrea Mino is next, although he's looking for a move on Masia, I think. Also, the two former teammates from Besta Capital Dubai, and in fact, they both were quite good in the MotoGP 19 career mode, and I think oftentimes I had a bit of a rivalry with Mino, and sometimes with Masia as well. Masia would often get in my way, but Mino, I think me and him had a couple of collisions in the MotoGP 19 career mode, so hopefully that's all sorted out now. It's all water under the bridge. Seems to not be that way. Hopefully I didn't pick up any damage from that, although we are quite close to Masia now, so if we did pick up a tiny bit of damage, I suppose it wouldn't be the end of the world, although it would still be annoying. So obviously Masia's looking for a 2nd win in a row. Obviously the only other rider than me to win a race. He's took a very strange line through garage there. That's definitely cost him on the exit. Then we got the slipstream on Yama Masia. Here we go to the left hand side. And he's just done what Foggia did. He just got out of the throttle for absolutely no reason. So we're now up into the lead once again. after that start debacle, but here he comes. Messia's looking for a way back past us there, but I think he's not quite got the pace to do so. But will he have a look into the S-Blue? Oh, he almost tags our rear end. That would have been disastrous. He could have gone down then, but he's just avoided it there. We've got to try and build our bit of a gap then to Messia now in second place. Coming up towards the line then. It's going to be another win here in career mode. Despite the glitch start, we managed to, well, we came back. We managed to pull out quite a bit of a lead over Messia. So we won then by 4.3 seconds ahead of Yama Messia in second. Third place for Mino. So Mino doing pretty well there in that race. Fourth place then for Foggia. So our two rivals finishing behind us. Obviously, Messia is still going to be closer than he was at the start of the episode. Obviously, he gained 9 points on us. In the first race, we've gained 5 of them back. So we've lost 4 to him over the course of this episode. Finati ended up 6th then, so Antonelli managed to beat Finati, so that's quite a blow to his championship, really. See how far other people were behind us then. So 53 seconds, Jason Dupasquier. I think that's how it's pronounced. I've been saying Dupasquier for ages, but I think it's Dupasquier, but I'm not sure. We'll move on to the championship then. How does that affect the championship? We now have an 18-point lead over Messia, and we've extended our gap to 38 points in third. Oh, Suzuki's actually 4th in the championship. I didn't realise that. So actually, he's doing a bit better than I thought he was. I thought he was 5th behind Finati. Mino's not doing too bad in the championship, actually. He's only 1 point behind Finati. So somehow Mino and Suzuki have flew under the radar. For me, I've not noticed at all. So have a look at the team's championship then. Leopard Racing continue to romp away. Obviously, with their riders being pretty consistent, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to beat them. We're 60 points behind them. We've got 9 points over 658 now, though. So we pulled away from them a little bit in this race. But yeah, obviously it's going to be difficult to compete with obviously only one rider in our team, 2 in theirs, and their riders are 2nd and 3rd in the championship, so they're doing a very good job so far. So we'll head into Parc Fermé then, and then we'll head into the career hub, and we'll end the episode off there. So back on the top step then, it's always a good feeling to be back. Last race, a bit unfortunate for us to obviously have that contact with Foggia, although it was my fault. The damage really did us over. We almost, if we had some more laps, I think we could have still won at Jerez, because I started to catch them back up again. I was really overriding the bike though, the tyres were shredded. I put it down to traction control 0 to get the best exits I could, but it was spinning the tyre up so much. But in this race, it was still a difficult one to win. Obviously the glitch on the start, I need to obviously figure out how to prevent that, or how I was doing that in the first race. So I'll have to watch back my other starts and see how I was preventing the glitch. So the reputation takes a good boost there, 4,800 total weekend reputation there. So that's always helpful. We gained 6,151 credits, which is, I'm pretty sure it's close to the amount we pay some of our staff, so good job we're still raking in all the credits, otherwise we'd definitely be running out of money. So now we have a massive 1,530 engine points, 599 frame points, 667 aero, and 738 on the ECU. Obviously the only one that we're interested in is the engine. It's the only thing we can still upgrade. So then, no notifications here in the career hub, so that's where we'll end the episode. We'll resume, obviously, next time with advancing the week and upgrading the engine. But I hope you have enjoyed this one. There's actually been a bit of action this time. Obviously, the last couple of episodes have been just pulling away at the front, winning the races, but actually something happened interesting this time. Obviously, we didn't win the race in Jerez, and then we had to fight through in Le Mans. So I hope you did enjoy those 2 races. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe. I shall see you in the next video.